Okay, for this development, you've got a top view and a front view, where you've got a top view which has got no top to it, so you can see all the way through. So you can see that baseline over there, hidden detail over here till it hits the top, and then you can see it as a dark line over there. First thing that you're going to have to go and do is you're going to have to complete the labeling in your top view and then transfer it to your front view. So for the base, I'm going to use numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 and transfer them to my front view, 1, 4 and then 2, 3, and then at the top letters, and I'm going to transfer those across. Okay, you have to have everything labeled. Okay, then from the labeling, once you've labeled, go and create your triangulation. Okay, so we have a surface over here that we need to triangulate, so I'm going to join a top point to a base point, which gives me 2 triangles on that surface. Then on this surface over here, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to join a top point to a base point, which gets me another 2 triangles. Now the surface over here, even though it's angled away from you, you're still just going to do the exact same thing again. Here I joined a top point to a base point to create 2 triangles. Here I joined a top point to a base point to create 2 triangles. This surface here, I'm going to again take a top point to a base point to create 2 triangles. It's going to cross over one of the other triangles, but that's fine. It still triangulates that one side. Now that side has now got that triangle and that one over there that you can use for your development. The other side, which you can't see at the moment because it's standing straight up, it's vertical, is the side over here, which is the side BC34. But that side's true shape is shown in your front view, so you're going to go and draw a triangulate. You're going to go and triangulate your front view so that you have 2 triangles to use there for your construction. And that line that I've now drawn down from the top corner to the base, that's already a true length because we have a vertical face shown in our front view. Okay, now again we have to go and mark off whichever lines we think we need to complete true lengths for. This line over here is going to need a true length. That line will need a true length. This line will need a true length. This line over here is going to need a true length. And then this one here is going to need a true length. So you've got a total of 5 true lengths that you have to go and work out. Then our true lengths, using your compass, I'm going to start with the true length of C2, the one that I've marked off with a single line. Take my compass, I'm going to place it onto a top point, so there, point C, and I'm going to open it up to point 2, and I'm going to draw an arc. Okay, in this case upwards, and then take the edge of that arc and project it into the front view. And now because you are projecting a point which is on the base, point 2, you're going to join that projected line up with the baseline in your front view. Okay, and then mark that point. Then because you took your compass and you put the point of your compass there on point C, you're now going to join that base point there to point C in your front view to complete your true length. So that's the true length now of the line C2, so I'm going to mark it with a single line and then move on to the next one. Okay, we need the true length of line D2, So I'll take my compass, place it on point D, and open it up to point 2, and then draw another arc. Take the edge of that arc, project it up, and again you've projected a base point, so where it links up with the base here we can mark that point, and again you placed your compass point on point D, which is in line with the same point that you joined your last true length to, so we're going to again join that point up to point D in our front view. And that's now the true length of line D2, and I'll mark that with a double line. Then the true length of line A2. Take a compass point, place it on point A, open it up to point 2. Now, up until now I've been making an arc going upwards, but because I've already got 2 true lengths on this right hand side here, if I do another true length on that right hand side, it's going to start getting a bit messy. So instead of putting a true length on this side here, I'm rather going to try and get a true length on the other side of my drawing so things aren't too messy. So instead of putting my compass point on point A, I'm now going to move it and I'm going to place it on point 2 instead. And I'm going to open my compass up to point A, so that instead of arcing on the right hand side, I can now arc downwards on the left hand side. And I'm going to take the edge of that arc, project it up into my front view, and now you need to remember that you've now changed points, the point that you're projecting. Instead of projecting a base point, you are now projecting a top point. And because you projected a top point, that projection line now has to be joined up to the top part of your front view, not to the base. So I'm going to extend the top of my front view, and I'm then going to mark off that point, and because I placed my compass point on point 2 over there, I'm now going to join that point there in my front view to point 2, which is at the bottom of here. And that's now the true length of line A2, marked it with a circle, so I'm going to mark it with a circle here. Mark it with a circle over here. Okay, next true length, moving on to line A1 over there. Again, my compass point, if I place it there and open it up to point 1, if I make an arc, that's going to fit in quite nicely. Just get it accurate. Okay, if I make an arc from there, it's going to fit in quite nicely if I take it to this side. So I'm going to arc out that way, and again project that line up into my front view. And now I've changed again. I've now projected a base point again, point 1. So because I've projected a base point, I've got to join that up to the baseline of my front view. So I'm going to extend that, so that's the point I'm working from. I placed my compass point on point A in the top view, so I have to join that point to point A in my front view. Okay, so that line I'm now going to mark with 3 lines. So we've got that true length. Sorry guys, missed a little bit of that. There we go. Okay, mark that one with 3 lines. Now, the last line that I've got to go and find a true length for is going to be line B1, which I've marked with a square. So I'm going to take my compass again, and I'm going to place it on point B, open it up to point 1, and now I'm going to arc into my drawing because it's just the easiest place to put it. So from there I'm going to arc inwards and project that up into my front view. And now again there I've gone and projected a base point. So I'm going to join that up to the base of my front view, and I placed my compass point on point B, so I'm going to have to go and join that base point up to point B. And then I'm going to mark that true length of the square. Okay, now from that construction you can see obviously that if you don't go and mark the true lengths with either lines, squares or circles, you're going to get very, very confused between all of those lines when you have to go and complete the development. So make sure that you've labeled everything clearly, and make sure that you have used some sort of marking to have a reference between your top view and the true lengths that you found in your front view. Then, because this drawing has not given us a seam, we can go and choose any line that we want to start from. So I'm going to start from the clearest line, which I'm going to take line D2. So I'm going to start with line D2 for my development on the right hand side over here. And I have to go and use the true length of line D2, which is marked with 2 lines there. So go and find my 2-line true length here in my front view, measure that. And that comes out at 59, so I can go and draw a line over here, 59 millimeters in length. And now that line, we want the base points here at the bottom and the top points at the top. So this must be labeled point D, and this must be labeled point 2, so that we've got our line D2, which is this line here. And now generally we work in a clockwise direction unless they tell you otherwise in the question. So I'm going to move from that line in a clockwise direction around and work from triangle to triangle. First triangle that I'm working with is the triangle D2 to A. So I need the line AD, and in the top view the line AD is a true length, so I can take my compass, put it on the length AD, and move that over, place it on point D, and then make an arc. And then I can go and use the length of line A2, and that is a true length which is marked with a circle. So I find my circle in my front view, and I go and place my compass on that length, place my compass on point 2, and make an arc. When those 2 points come together, that was point D, which is point D here, so this point there now must be point A. So I can mark that, that's point A. If I join those 2 up with the dark line, and then the joining line between point A and point 2 must be drawn as a construction line, because it is a line that you created to be able to triangulate. So line A2 is construction. Then we've now completed that triangle, so we're going to move on to the next triangle down here, and we need the length of line 2-1 or 1-2. That's a true length in the top view, so I can take my compass and place it on that length, put my compass point on point 2, make an arc. Then I need the true length of line A1, which is marked with 3 lines here. So I go to my true length there in the top view, so in the front view, place my compass point there, take the true length of line A1, place it on point A, and make an arc. And where those 2 come together, I can draw 2 dark lines joining to that point. That base point there is now point 1. Okay, so I've got A at the top and point 1 there, so I've completed my A1, so I've completed that triangle. Then I move around. Now as soon as I move around the corner, I'm now moving around to a face which is flattened away from you. So you have to remember that you are now moving to the triangle AB1. That triangle, okay? The triangle AB1. So I need the length of AB, which is a true length already, in my top view. So I can put my compass on that length, place it on point A, and make an arc. And then I need the true length of line B1, which is marked with a square. So I can go to my front view, place my compass onto that length, place it onto point 1, and then make an arc. And I can join point A to that point with a dark line. And that will, of course, will be point B now. And then I need a construction line from B to 1, because it's again another line that you drew in to triangulate. And that's now completed that triangle from A to B to 1. Then I need this triangle here, which is triangle B1 and point 4. So I need the true length of line 1 to 4, which is already here in the top view. I place that on point 1, make an arc. Then I go and take the true length of line B4. Now line B4 belongs to that vertical face. And as soon as a line is vertical in our top view, in the front view, that is its true length. So I can just go and find the line B4 in my front view, the original B4 in the front view, and I can take that length, because I know that that's going to be its true length, and I can take it and place it onto point 1. Sorry, not onto point 1, onto B. Okay, so because we're drawing line B4, place it on point B, make an arc, and when those two come together, you've now got line B4 over here. That's now point 4, and then you have the baseline 4-1 or 1-4. That now completes this triangle and that triangle, which was for the surface facing away from you. Now you go to the vertical face at the back. That vertical face at the back, you've got two triangles which you've created in the front view here. Okay, you can see you've got the one triangle B, from B to 4 to point C at the top here, B to 4 to C. So for that triangle, you need the true length of BC, which is already in the top view. Take that length, place it on point B, arc it out, and then you need the true length of 4 to C, and that's here in this triangle that you can see in your front view. So that's already a true length. Open it up to point C, and then place that on point 4 and make another arc. And then you're going to join up B to that point, so that is now point C, and the line from C to 4 is another construction line. Then the next part of the triangle is then your triangle from point C to 4, and from 4 to point 3. Okay, so we're going to we need the true length of line 4 to 3, which is in the top view. And we're going to place our compass on point 4 and make an arc. And then we need the true length of line C3, which is already in the front view. So place our compass point there, open it up to point C, place our compass on point C, make an arc, and then join those up. that point in the corner there is now point 3. Okay, so we've done the back face, and now we're coming back around to the last face, which is this one here. So we're doing triangle C to 3 to 2. Okay, we need the true length of line 3, 2, which is in the top view. Place that on point 3, make an arc. Then we need the true length of line C to 2, which is marked as a single line here. So we take our true length from the front view and place it on point C, arc that out, join it up, and that's a dark line, but the line from point C to point 2 has to be construction. That is now point 2. And then our last triangle that we need to complete, because we've now done that one, is the triangle DC2. And for that we need the true length of CD, true length of CD. We place that onto point C, make an arc, and then we need the true length of D2, which is the line that we started with, and we can find that over here with the line that's marked with 2 lines there in our front view. Open up our compass, place that onto point C, sorry, not onto point C, onto point 2, make an arc, join those 2 lines up, and then the last 2 lines, last 2 points, and that should now be point D and give you a complete development.